Here it goes. Tableau, as said by you, Tableau is a very wonderful data visualization tool. Now, what is data visualization? Data visualization means displaying or representing the data in the form of images, right? Because if I take a very latest example, so you can say now these days when you visit to some, you open some news channels, you visit the website, you get the information about the COVID. Yes, that how many cases are there and in which state is the process, how is the like it is the number increasing or decreasing, and all this information are represented with the help of graphs, isn't it? Yes.
Yes.
Right. So all that is an example of this visualization. So using Tableau, we can visualize almost any type of data in a wonderful format. Now, let me show you something before I tell more about Tableau. Here it goes. Now, here I have a small data, and this is the data for online store. This is a US online store. And here you can see I have a data for 4 years, 2014 to 2017. And in this data, we have the information about the order, like order ID, order date, ship mode. Then we have the information about the customer, like customer names, city, country, state, postal code, region. And these customers has been bifurcated into 3 segments, which is consumer, corporate, and home office. Further, we have the information about the product, like description of the product ID. In this data, we have 3 categories of the products, which is furniture, office supplies, and technology. And these categories has been further subdivided into subcategories. That is, if it is furniture, what in furniture? Table, chair, bookcase, whatever. Okay. And then we have the sales information about over here, what is the sales value, the quantity sold, discount, and the profit. So overall, I have 21 fields in this data, and I have somewhere around 10,000 records. To be specific, 9,994 records are in this data. Okay. You people work in Excel? Yes or no?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Most of us work in Excel, right? Now, if I ask you few questions from this data, that if I wanted to see how is the performance in the 4 years, how is the sales performance in the 4 years, which particular state has generated the maximum sales, which category or subcategory is giving us the maximum revenue, which segment or the region has contributed max towards the sales. And if I want all this information in a graphical manner, can you give this in Excel? Yes or no? Can you give it in Excel? Yes or no? Hello. So please be responsive. Kindly respond quickly so that we can proceed on with a good pace.
Yeah, I think that's possible.
It is possible. Yes, it is possible. And to a certain extent, definitely. But we have to put in some efforts. And the best way to create a chart in Excel is using a pivot table. Correct?
Yes.
Now let us see if we utilize Tableau for the visualization purpose, what type of output we can expect. Here it goes. So here is the visualization of this data with the help of Tableau. And on this particular visual, you can see the state-wise bifurcation of the sales. This is the sales percentage displayed over here. And the color is indicating the sales volume. The darker the color means higher the sales, and the lighter the color means lesser sales. Okay. So in this visual, we can see California being the darkest one, that is somewhere around 20% of the total US sales has been generated from California alone. Next, we can see more darker over here, which is New York, that is with 13% contribution. Proceeding further, here we see the year-wise bifurcation of the sales, in which you can see that the year-wise the sales is continuously increasing only in the year 2015, we can see slightly dip in technology and office supplies. Furniture is continuously growing. Moving further, we can see the category-wise bifurcation of the sales, where we can see that the technology has given us the maximum sales. If we talk about the subcategory, phones and chairs are contributing max towards the sales. And here it is. Here it is segment and the category-wise bifurcation of the sales, in which in all the three categories, the maximum contribution, somewhere around 50% of the contribution is coming from consumer sector. Here we can see the region and the category-wise bifurcation of the sales. We can see in all the three categories, East as West has performed better. In the furniture category, the maximum contribution has been given by the Western region. Office supplies, again, it is from the Western region. And in technology, maximum revenue has been generated from the Eastern region. Proceeding further, here we can see proceeding further, here we can see the summary. This is a summary over here which shows state sales, year sales, category sales, subcategory sales, segment, and the region-wise sales. Okay. And this is the total sales generated from the 10,000 records, which is double to 97,000. Now see, the best part of this is, supposingly you are heading the technology category. You are not bothered what furniture and office supplies is doing. You are only focused about the technology. So you click on technology and here it goes. Now your entire visuals, all the visuals are talking only about technology. Let us click on furniture. We are getting the details of furniture alone. The total sales generated by furniture is 742,000. Okay, now supposingly I want to talk about the furniture consumer sector. Here it goes. So in the furniture consumer sector, the total sales generated is 391,000. Chairs has generated the maximum sales. Similarly, if I wanted to see technology South region, so you can see in the technology South region, the maximum sales has been generated by Florida. And if you want to talk about a particular state, let's take, I want to talk about Washington. I will click on Washington and see all the visuals are talking only about Washington. 138,000 is the total sales of Washington. The maximum revenue has been generated by tables. Where is the phone gone? Oh, phone is gone very low in Washington. The sales of phones in Washington is less. Overall, Washington phones is at number 1. Okay. So I have shown you few visuals over here. How are these visuals? How are the visuals? What do you think?
Very easy to analyze and infer information from.
Correct. Easy to see, presentable. It is presentable, and
Yes.
and the most important point, it is interactive. Anybody can see what he or she is looking in this data for. Okay, you can get what you are looking forward to. So your visual is dynamic. Now think, if you have to create something similar to this in Excel, can you create it? Can you create it? Yes or no?
No.
Not really.
Exactly same will not be possible, like map and all will not be possible. To a certain extent, we can create few of the visuals from over here in Excel, but for that we have to do a lot of efforts, and to make it interactive, we might have to do some VBA coding. Correct? Sorry. But in Tableau, it can be done with very ease. And this is what I have shown you. I have shown you the series of visuals. So this series of visual is known as story. Story. And on this, if you notice, on every page, I have shown you a single visual. But this is a page in which I have kept multiple visuals. So a page with a multiple visual is known as a dashboard. So dashboard and the story are the final product of Tableau. Okay. So whatever we will be learning in Tableau, we will be learning to achieve this. Clear? Am I clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So with this, let's proceed on. Now, when we know the power of Tableau, now let's proceed on with Tableau. What is Tableau? So now you already know that the Tableau is a very, very powerful data visualization and a business intelligence tool, which help us to convert the data from the various sources to readable visuals, presentable and readable visuals. In Tableau, you can connect not only to Excel, but somewhere around 50 data sources you can get connected to Tableau, like we have Oracle, SQL Server, even text file and a PDF file you can get connected to in Tableau. And in Tableau, we can create somewhere around 24 different type of visuals, which can be enhanced further depending on your requirement. Now, why Tableau? Why Tableau is the market leader? So the number one answer is speed. Speed. Now we create chart in Excel. What do you think? How much time does it take to create a decent chart in Excel? How much time does it take to create a chart in Excel on an average? Have you ever created a chart in Excel?
No.
No.
Maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Maybe 10, 15 minutes. Yes. On an average, we can say 10, 15 minutes. And if we are quite smarter, we can go for, let's take 5 minutes. On an average, we can take somewhere around 5 minutes to create a decent chart in Excel. However, in Tableau, the most complicated chart which you think is in Tableau can be created within less than a minute. It could be a map, any type of visual. It can be created within less than a minute. It is just a matter of some practice. So that is the speed which Tableau provides. Okay, so you can see less number of people working for less hours, giving the better output. That is what is done in Tableau. So first answer is speed. Number two, Tableau is very user friendly. To work on Tableau, you need not to have any programming background. No technical skills are required to work in Tableau. If you can work on computers, you can work in Tableau. So simple. Then eye-catching and interactive dashboards. Eye-catching and interactive dashboard, which I have already shown you. This was presentable. This was presentable as well as interactive. That is what it is saying. Then we have a direct connection. This is another wonderful feature of Tableau, which is the direct connection, which means you will be directly connected to the data source. Now, to understand this, let's take one example. Suppose you are working on the live data of Amazon and you are doing some visualization. And assuming that your visualization has took 2 hours to complete. Okay. Now, when your visualization is done, your visualization will be based on the data which is 2 hours older. It is not based on the recent data. But in Tableau, by clicking on a single button, all your visual will be updated by the real-time data. Got it? So that is known as direct connection. Then the next we have is easy publishing and sharing. It is another wonderful feature of Tableau. Easy publishing and sharing. Now, let's take once again an example from Excel, that suppose you created a chart in Excel and you wanted to share it with me. What is the minimum requirement I need to have to view your chart? Tell.
You should have an Excel with you as well.
Obviously, yes,
Software.
that is the basic requirement. I need to have at least Excel installed on my computer. However, this is not the case with Tableau. If you have created something in Tableau and you shared it with me, I need not to have Tableau installed on my computer. Moreover, even if I do not have my computer, I can, even if I do not have my computer, I can view your visualization very comfortably on my tablet or on my mobile phone. And when I am saying very comfortably, this means very comfortably, which means that your visual will be device responsive. Just like these days we have device responsive websites. If you open it on a desktop, it is appearing in a different manner. On a phone, it appears in a different manner, isn't it? So the same way, your visual will also be device responsive. And in our module, we will be doing this thing practically.
Will it be interactive too? Like you said, it'll be
100%. On the mobile also, it will be interactive as it is interactive on the laptop.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. So are they sending web, HTML, CSS, JavaScript kind of thing?
Okay. So although we will be talking about this in detail, but as of now, let's move to the next slide and you will come to know about this.
Okay.
Right. Then, because of all these features, Tableau has a great growing market, right? Moving further, the Tableau products. So the commercial product of Tableau is Tableau Desktop, which is used in the industry. But remember, Tableau Desktop is not free of cost. It has a cost associated with it. And the cost of Tableau Desktop is $70 per, approximately $70 per user per month. Okay. Now, as you have to learn this tool, so you have to invest $70 per month. So is it okay with you? Because now I will be telling you how to install. So is it okay with you installing Tableau Desktop and you have to pay $70? Is it fine? Anybody who has a challenge can let me know. Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
So it is fine with you, correct? Or you have a challenge?
Yes. No, it's fine with me.
It's fine with you. Okay. So I have somewhere around 12 students along with me, and only one said it is fine with you. How you will proceed when you don't have a Tableau Desktop? Mayank, no drawings, please. Okay. Come on, I need a response. Are you ready to pay $70?
I think there must be some free version also, no?
Yeah, community edition.
Okay, you are waiting for some free version. Not willing to invest $70.
Some trial version.
There is Tableau public, right?
Oh, you revealed the actual secret. Okay, absolutely correct. So don't worry, I will not take $70. Neither I will let Tableau take $70 from you. Okay, so we have, for the student purpose, Tableau has provided something known as Tableau Public, which is a free version of Tableau Desktop. All the different type of visual, somebody is saying something over here. Costly. Oh, costly. So now you are happy I saved the cost. Okay, so all the different type of visuals which you can create in desktop can be created in public also. And it is free of cost, specifically for the learning purpose. But there is one major difference in desktop and public. That is, in public, you will not be able to save anything in your local environment. Suppose you have created some visual, you have created some charts, you wanted to save it onto your C drive, D drive, you won't be able to do it in Tableau Public. Is that clear, this point?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So saying something? Okay. Now coming back to the Tableau Desktop. So Tableau Desktop, as I told you, it is a paid version, but just to get a feel of it, the trial version of Tableau Desktop is available free of cost for 14 days. Only for 14 days. Post 14 days, it will automatically stop working. Okay. So that is Tableau in desktop and public. So for the learning purpose, we will be installing Tableau Public. Please do not install Tableau Desktop until and unless specified. In the later part of this module, we will be requiring Tableau Desktop. Then I will ask you to install Tableau Desktop. Okay, before that, till the time we can work in public, we will be using public. I will tell you how to install public as well. And the next product which Tableau has introduced is Tableau Online, which is a cloud platform of Tableau, which is used to share the visualization. It is a wonderful platform provided by Tableau. So as I was talking about the sharing of the visual. So with the help of Tableau Online, in very simple language, I can say that Tableau will give you a full-fledged website, your website. Okay, your website with 100% admin control, which can be used to share your visualizations. Okay, so Tableau Online, a cloud platform of Tableau. Then we have something known as Tableau Server. Tableau Server, which is used to, or I can say Tableau Server is just like Tableau Online. The only difference is online works on a cloud platform, whereas server works on the local environment. Okay. Then we have Tableau Reader. Tableau Reader can be compared to Acrobat Reader, PDF Reader. Just like PDF Reader is used to read the PDF files, similarly, Tableau Reader is used to read the Tableau files. The extension of Tableau Workbook is TWB. Okay, then we also have something known as Tableau Prep Builder, which is used to transform the data, right? Tableau Prep, which is a separate tool provided by Tableau. Okay, so these are the various products provided by Tableau. Proceeding further. Installing Tableau. So here I have given you a link to install Tableau. So you can just visit this link, and for your convenience, I will share the link with you on the chat as well. Although after the module, you will be getting this. So I have provided the link. If anybody wants, try it. So the reason behind providing the link is else you will go to Google and say Tableau download. By default, it will take you to Tableau desktop download. Here you just have to provide your email ID and say download the app, and it will be downloaded. Okay. Proceeding further, this is once downloaded. This is the first screen of Tableau. Let me show you. So this is the first screen of Tableau once you download and install Tableau. So this is the icon of Tableau Public. You double click on it and you will be reaching to this page. This is, you can call it as a home page or the first screen of Tableau. And when you will open, you will be not getting these things. These are the files which I have recently worked on. Now, the entire Tableau is a 3-step process. Working in Tableau is a 3-step process. Number 1, connect to the data source, which means tell Tableau which where is the data which you wanted to visualize. Number 1. Number 2, choose the dimension and measures. I will just tell you what is dimension and measures. Number 3, apply visualization technique, which means tell Tableau which type of visual you want, whether you want a line chart, pie chart, bar chart, what do you want? Okay, so if you know these 3 steps, you know Tableau. It is so simple. Now, for an example, we will be taking this data, the data which I have just shown you. So in this data, we have 3 sheets. One is the order, which contains the entire details of the orders. Then we have the returns, which contains the order number which has been returned. Then we have the people, which contains the regional name of the regional head. Name of the regional head is over here. So let us get connected to this worksheet, to this Excel. So to connect to the data source, we will simply say Excel, as the data is in Excel. I will browse to this data and say open. I am connected to the data source. You can see the 3 sheets which I have shown you in the Excel are appearing over here. Whichever sheets you wanted to work, you can select that. And there will be multiple ways to do the same task in Tableau. So either you can double click on this and the data is over here, or let me throw it out. You can also drag and drop and you got the data. Okay, you got the data over here. And so this particular sheet is not your work area. It is just to create just to get connected to the data source. Once connected, you will see sheet 1. Just like in Excel, you get worksheets. Similarly, over here also you get the worksheet. So this is your actual work area, in which the white area which you can see over here, this is the chart area. This is the chart area or the plot area where you will be creating your visuals. And you can see some small boxes with the name marks, filters, pages, column, rows. Okay, so these are known as cards. We call them as cards, just like visiting cards. We call them as cards. In front of column and rows, you are getting this big boxes over here. These two boxes are referred to as shelf, just like bookshelf. These are referred to as shelf. Okay, and here you can see the list of the fields, right? List of the fields which are there in the data source. But in Tableau, we do not call them as fields. We do call them as dimension and measures. Now, how it is being bifurcated on the basis of dimension and measure. So if you see all the fields where the possibility of calculation is not there, like category, subcategory, product ID, product name, or segment, region, order date, ship date, etc. So these are the one where the calculation probability is not there. Addition, subtraction, multiple, something like that. You will not be doing on these things. However, on the fields like discount, profit, quantity, sales, where there is a possibility of the calculation will be considered as measures. So, but we do not have to worry about it because Tableau automatically takes care of it. Tableau has automatically bifurcated this into the dimension and measure. And as of now, if you will notice, these are the dimensions. And when I'm moving my pointer on this, you can see that it is getting highlighted in blue. And here you can see these are the measures which have been highlighted in green. So as of now, you can see that the dimensions has been highlighted in blue and the measures has been highlighted in green. Clear? So we have done the first step, that is connecting to the data source. Now the second step is choose the dimension and measure, which means tell Tableau what are the fields on which you wanted to work. So for an example, I wanted to display the sales on the basis of subcategory. I want to bifurcate sales on the basis of subcategory. So I will simply double click on the sales and double click on the subcategory. My visual is ready. My visual is ready. I am getting the subcategory sales over here. Clear? Is that clear? Any doubts? Please speak up.
Clear.
Yes,
Right.
it's
So
clear.
we have done the second step, that choosing the dimension and measure. Now the third step, apply visualization technique. Have I told Tableau to create a bar chart? I haven't. It has automatically created a bar chart. Let us take another example. I would like to take the sales on the basis of order date, and you see automatically I'm getting a line chart. How and why? Because Tableau works on visualization query language. Tableau works on visualization query language, which means by default, Tableau will automatically take the best possible visual depending on the dimension and measure you have selected. Okay, and a lot of things Tableau do it by default, but it will give you a full leverage to change it. If you are not satisfied with the line chart, you can click on this drop down. You can make it as a bar chart. Okay, let me clear it out. I will once again, let me take the sales on the basis of subcategory and we are getting a bar chart. So the third step is done automatically by Tableau. It will automatically give you the best possible visual. Okay, let us do the same thing once again. I would like to take the sales on the basis of subcategory, but this time if you have noticed, we are getting a tabular data. Initially, we will getting a like graphical data. Let me do it once again. I will like to take the sales on the basis of subcategory. I'm getting a graphical data. How is it is happening that one time it is giving a tabular and another time it is giving a graphical data? How is it happening? Any idea? What will happen if I take this same thing again? If I will display the sales on the basis of subcategory again, what do you think? I will be getting graphical or tabular?
Bar.
That is graphical. Okay. So let me take the sales on the basis of subcategory, but I'm getting a tabular one. Is it that it is giving alternative? Sorry?
You selected subcategory first.
Oh, absolutely correct. So you caught me. So it is not a matter of that it is giving alternative. If you take the measure first, then the dimension, you will be getting a graphical. However, if you will take the dimension first and then the measure, you will be getting tabular. Okay? Right. So the 3 steps are clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Let's proceed further and the sample data. So the data which I have shown you, this is not my data. This is the data provided by Tableau only. Once you install Tableau desktop, you will be getting this data. Okay. So as of now, you will be installing Tableau public. So you won't be getting this data and I will be sharing this data with you. Although you will be getting, although you will be getting the reference material.
I think at least for me, I'm finding this in installation only. Tableau public.
I hope you are not downloading Tableau desktop.
No, I already had Tableau public installed.
If you have, that is good. And if you have the data, that is more better, right? But for your convenience, I am putting the data. I have just shared the data in the chat. So if you want, you can download it from there also. And post the session, you will be receiving the things through mail as well. That will be shared by the admin team. Okay. So have you got the data in the chat box? Can you see? Please confirm if you have received the data. No confirmation. Hello.
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. Okay. So this was the sample data. Now the default location. Right. So the default location is under the documents folder. There is a folder called My Tableau repository in which you will be getting a folder called data sources. So when you install Tableau, by default, this is the location where Tableau will store the data. Under the My Tableau repository, under the data sources, here you will be getting your data, right? But you can put it anywhere you want. By default, Tableau will keep it at this place. Okay. Proceeding further, now let's try to compare Tableau and Excel. Tableau and Excel, a comparison. So let's try to compare the two. Now, let us take this Excel and supposingly I want to display the sales on the basis of category and subcategory in Excel. Can we do that? Can we bifurcate sales on the basis of category and subcategory? Yes, no, maybe quickly.
Yes.
Yes. And as I told you, the best way to create a chart in Excel is using a pivot chart. So let's create it. I want to display where it has gone on the basis of category and on the basis of category and the subcategory. I want to display the sales instead of count. I will go to value settings, make it as sum. I will go to the number format. I will make it as number. I don't want the decimal places, so I will make it as 0. Let me say okay and okay. Done. And let me change the layout. Pivot table options, display task. Okay. So I have created a pivot. Now I can go to the insert. Insert. And let's take a bar chart. I can resize it, and if required, I can further format it, label, and all can be done over here. Okay, but I'm not doing anything else in this. So this is a visual which we have created in Excel, which displays the sales on the basis of category and subcategory. Now let us try to do the same thing in Tableau. So I have to display the sales on the basis of category and subcategory. So let's do it. So I will take the sales on the basis of category and subcategory, putting the, subcategory, putting the category into the color. Let me display the labels. Let's make it as an entire view. Let me sort it. Let me go to the category and say show filter, and of course the visual is ready. The visual is ready. Which one looks better? Which one?
Tableau, of course.
Of course, Tableau, no option, right? No competition between the two. And moreover, I have created a dynamic chart, which can be updated during runtime. Whatever I wanted to see, I can see over here. It is a dynamic chart. Clear? Nice. And you can see how much efforts. And I don't think it has taken a minute to create this chart. What do you say? Have I taken a minute?
No.
What I have done, I have actually done 7 to 8 clicks. Let me do the entire process once again. So slowly, 1, sales on the basis of 2 category, 3 subcategory, putting the category into the color, that is 4, making it as entire view, 5, labeling 6, and arranging 7, and going to the category and displaying the filter, that is 8. 8 clicks I have done to get this interactive visual. Okay, nice and easy, more presentable. So that is a comparison of Tableau and Excel. Right. Now in Tableau, we have 2 types of connection. The connection to the data source can be of 2 types, which is live and extract. Live connection is the connection when you are directly connected to the data source, and extract is a saved subset of the data. I repeat, extract is a saved subset of data. Please note, I'm not calling it as a copy of the data. It is a subset. To understand this, let's take an example that suppose you are working in your office on some important visualization, and this is your logout time. You need to close for the day. Okay, you need to close for the day, and but you have to take the data home. You have to complete the visualization and you have to take the data home, but obviously taking the entire data will not be possible. So at that point of time, you can take an extract of the data, which is a subset, which means the actual data may be having thousands of records, millions of records, but the extract maybe have few hundreds of records or even lesser than that. So you can take an extract of the data, you can go home, you can continue with the visualization which you wanted to create. Next day when you come to office, again from the extract, you will switch to the live connection, and with a click of a single button, all your visuals will be updated with the real time. So that is the live connection. Okay, and how to switch between the live and the extract connection? So you will go to the data source over here. On the top over here, you will be getting the live and the extract buttons. But as of now, you can see there is no live and the extract button over here. Why? Because I am working in Tableau Public, and in public, you can work only on extract. You cannot work on live data. This is a second difference between the Tableau desktop and public. And I can show you how you will be getting the buttons over here. Here it is. Here it is. So this is the live and extract button. So you just have to click on this button to switch from live to extract and back from extract to live. Right. So this is a screenshot taken from the desktop. Now, another thing, how you will come to know, like by looking at your worksheet on this particular page, looking at your sheet, how you will come to know that whether you are working on an extract or you are working on a live connection. So if you notice over here, you can see the name of the data source, orders, and just behind that name, can you see there is a small icon appearing over here? Can you notice this icon?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you notice there are two cylinders appearing over here?
Yes.
Two cylinder means extract. And when you get one cylinder, that means you are working on a live connection. Here it is. So this is the symbol of a live connection, and this is a symbol of an extract. Okay, so this is a live and extract. Now coming to the Tableau data types. In Tableau, we have different data types, which are numeric, that is numbers, string, date, geographic, Boolean, and date time. So let us have a look at the data type. So you don't have to worry about it. Tableau automatically detects the data type. So if you notice that the, just above the name of the fields, you are getting some small blue color icons over here. Now, these icon represents the data type where hash indicates a numeric data type. ABC indicates a string or a text data type. And this calendar symbol indicates a date data type. Then you further, if you will move, you will see a globe symbol. Globe symbol indicates a geographic data type. Geographic data type means this particular field contains a data which has some longitude and latitude value. Okay, which has some longitude and latitude values. Clear? And currently in our data, we do not have any Boolean data type. Boolean is true and false, which we will be creating further in the module. And date and time data type. If you have a time along with the date, then it will be considered as a date time data type. So currently we do not have that as well. Now coming to the viewing of the data, if we go over here, now this particular page, the data source page, it is just to have a look at your data. Tableau doesn't want that. If you want to see your data, you have to go to the data source. You can see the data over here only, right? And as of now, you can see there are 100 records displayed. You can also see there are 21 fields and 994 records. And currently displayed is the 100 records. If you will scroll down, you will come to know only the 100 records has been displayed over here. So if you want to display any number of records, let's say I only want to see the 5 records. You can press 5, you can type in 5 and press enter. You are getting the first 5 records over here. But no matter how many records are being displayed over here, your visualization will always be on the entire data. In this example, the 10,000 records. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Then even if you want to display all the record, let's take 10, whatever. I have given just a bigger number over here. You can press enter and click on the glow button as well. And you can see you are getting 9,994 records. That is the maximum records you have. Okay, I want to see only 5. I will say 5. Another way is if you will move your pointer on the name of these tables, can you see there is a small icon appearing over here? Right? So this icon is known as a view data button. So you click on this view data button and you are able to see the data. The entire data is being displayed over here. Here also, if you want to see the limited number of records, let's take, I only want to have 10 records, press enter, and I'm getting the 10 records. Okay. You can also see other like people, and you can also see the returns over here. This is what we are getting. Okay, so this is the viewing of data. Right, to hide a particular column, If you wanted to hide a particular column, now what is the benefit behind hiding a column? As of now, we have 21 fields. So we have to scroll between the multiple fields. But if we feel that there is a particular field on which I do not want to do any type of visualization, so I can simply hide that field. For an example, let's take customer ID. I don't want to do any visualization on the customer ID. I can click on this drop down arrow and say hide. It has been hidden. And you can see the customer ID will be removed from here as well. Let us take customer name also. I will click on this drop down and say hide. The customer name has also been hidden. And you can see the customer name has been removed from here. And the benefit is we have to look for the field in the lesser number of fields. Navigation become more easier. We can hide the unwanted fields. Now, if you want to get the hidden fields back, you can click on the settings button and show hidden fields. Here it goes. So you can see it is there. It is appearing over here, but when you go to the sheet 1, you will not get it over here. Why? Because the fields are still hidden. So you can right click over here, say unhide. You can right click over here, say unhide. And you will see that customer ID and name are appearing over here once again. Also, if you wanted to change and the name of any field, so you can click on this drop down arrow and you will see there is an option called rename. Click on this rename and you can give it any name you like. Order number, press enter. The name has been changed. You go to the sheet 1. And you can say order number. Remember, whatever the changes you will be doing over here, it will be there in Tableau only. It will have no impact in Excel. So you can say it is a one-way communication. So the changes which you will be doing in Excel will be reflected in Tableau. But if you are doing any changes in Tableau, it will never be reflected back to the data source. In this example, Excel. Okay. Then okay, and if you wanted to rename it again, you can also rename it. You can click on the drop down arrow, say rename. Let's take. Here it goes. Now coming up over here is your first assignment. But before I proceed on with the assignment, let me get you introduced to this toolbar, because you will be requiring this toolbar in your assignments. So starting from the first icon over here, the first icon is a presentation mode icon. The shortcut is F7. So if you wanted to view your visual on the entire screen, you can go to the presentation mode, and the shortcut for which is F7, which is a toggle button. Okay. The next icon which you see is for managing the cards. Like I told you, marks card, filter card, pages card. So these are for managing the card. If you don't want any of the card, you can click on this drop down and you can remove whatever you want. Suppose I don't want this marks card, so I can click on this and it has been removed. If you wanted to get it back, you can click on this and you can add the marks card once again. You can also do the reset card to get all the default cards back. The next box which you see over here is the fit box. Fit box. Now, by default, it will always be standard. Now, see what happens when it is standard. Let me remove office supplies. And you will see these two furniture and office, furniture and technology. This visual has been existed in a small area. It is not utilizing the entire screen area visible. Let me remove the furniture also, and you can see only technology is there, but still it is not utilizing the entire screen area. It is just using a small part of the screen. If I say all also, in that case also some area is lying vacant. So in this, it is always a good practice to make it as an entire view. So from the day one, make it a practice, always use entire view until and unless your data is such which cannot be adjusted in one page. Okay, now after making the entire view, if I remove any one of these, let me remove technology. So you can see that the screen area is still utilizing the entire screen area. Let me remove the furniture also, and you can see the office supplies is utilizing the entire screen area. Okay, I will take all. Every time entire screen area will be utilized. The next icon which you see over here is a pin icon, which is the fixed axis icon. Now just notice on the y-axis, which is going up to 400,000. Let me remove furniture. 350,000. Let me remove technology, and you can see it is going to 240,000. Okay. By default, in Tableau, the axis will be dynamic. Depending on the data, the axis will keep on changing. But if you don't want this dynamic feature, you can click on this pin icon. You can click on the pin icon and now see what happens. It has been fixed. Now I have fixed it. Now see what happens. Let me add furniture. It is still at 240,000. Let me add technology. It is still at 240,000. Okay. So now the axis is fixed. You can see a fixed icon is appearing over here. Okay. So if you don't want to make it fixed, you can click on this fixed icon again. It will be back to the normal. The next icon which you see over here is a sorry. Somebody saying something. Okay, so the next icon which is over here, we were talking of this. This is a quick labels. Quick labels. So if you want to have a quick labels on your visual, you can use this quick label. Okay. Then the next icon we have over here is a group icon, which we will be talking about in a separate section. And then we have a highlighter. Again, it has been covered in the separate topic. The next two buttons which you see over here are known as sort button, sort ascending and descending. Okay. Then we have a transpose button to switch between rows and the column, and the shortcut is Control W. So if you want to switch between the rows and columns, so whatever there is, a column will come to row and row will go to the column. So you can say Control W. Can you notice the changes happening over here? Right. So this was the transpose button. The next icon which you see over here is a clear all icon. The clear all icon, you click on this and everything will be cleared. Okay. And we have an undo button. So if you want to get it back, you can click on this undo button. Right. You are getting undo and redo buttons are over there. Okay. The next icon we have is a duplicate icon. If you want to create another sheet, a duplicate of this sheet, you can simply click on this. It is gone. The duplicate icon over here. Here it goes. So you can see another copy has been created. Now this duplicate option is very beneficial if you have to create a similar type of visual for some different measure. As of now, I have displayed the category subcategory wise sales. And I have implemented the filter and all over here. Just give me one quick second, please. So I was talking about the duplicate over here. So we have in this visual, we have displayed the sales on the basis of category and subcategory. Now I wanted to create a same type of a visual for profit. So I can duplicate, remove sales and put profit. Right. So in a very simple manner, I have got the same visual for the profit as well. So that was the duplicate of the sheet. Then if you wanted to create a new sheet, this is the icon to create a new sheet. By default, you will be getting one sheet. If you want to create a new sheet, you can click on this icon. The shortcut is Control M, or at the bottom also you can create a new sheet. For the first icon is there to create a new sheet. So any which ways you want, you can create a new sheet, right? Then we have adding a new data source. So if you want to add a new data source, you can click on this, and from here we can add a new data source. So we will talk about this when we will be working with the multiple data sources. Then you have a save icon over here. So if you will click on the save icon, see what happens. Now, as of now, if you will notice at the bottom, my name is appearing. So, but it is asking to save to Tableau Public. Now, what it is doing, as I told you, in Tableau Public, we cannot save anything onto our local environment. It is taking us to the cloud platform. And if you want, you can also create your Tableau Public profile, where you will be getting a limited access on the cloud, right? And where you can keep your visualization. So if you want, you can do that. So I'm leaving up to you. If you want to create, please create. Otherwise, you just have to give some information and you will be able to create the cloud space over there. Okay. And the first icon which you will see over here is go to the home page. So if you want to go to the home page, it will take you to the home page. You will click on this again, and you will be back to your worksheet. Also notice at the extreme right, you will be seeing a button called Show Me over here, the Show Me button. So here you will see the different type of visuals. So this is the simplest way of creating the visual. You click and you will be getting the visuals, but we will be not going for the simplest way because I have to tell you how to create all different types of visuals. So I'm not going for the shortcut. You can use this once we are through with the module. Okay. Right. And one more thing I have forgotten to highlight over here. What are these known as? These small boxes, pages, filters, marks. What do we call these?
Cards.
Cards. What do we call to these big boxes?
Shelves.
Shelves.
And can you see whenever we take any dimension or a measure, the shape which we are getting in the respective card, category, subcategory, sales, right? This shape which which looks like a capsule, isn't it? It looks like a capsule. Yes or no? Does it looks like a capsule?
Yes.
Yes. And that is why we call it as pill. These are known as pills. Okay, these are the pills over here. Right. So this was an introduction towards the environment, and now let's move on to the assignment. So in this module, remember, you will be getting a lot of assignments. We will do a particular part, then do the assignment. Again, read something, do the assignment. Okay. So doing of assignment is very, very important if you really want to get the value out of this module. Clear?
Okay.
Right. And so in this assignment, you will be creating two visuals. The first visual says, create a graph, display category and subcategory wise sales. This is the visual I want. So it is the same visual which I have created for you. Okay. And the second visual, category, region and subcategory wise profit. And this is the output for the second. Here, just to display, I have put in the two visuals on the same page. But remember, in Tableau, on one page, you can have only one visual. You can't have multiple visual on one page. Okay. And so this is what has to be created over here. And so you can create this in the next session. You can show me what you have created. And yeah, that is how you can proceed on with that. And if you can also, if you wanted to share something with me, the best idea I can give you is that you can create a visual, as you won't be able to save it, create a visual, take a screenshot, put it in the PPT, and you can show it to me in the next session. Okay, is that clear? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes. Yes, sure.
So how is it going so far? Is it all okay? Are you getting the things which I'm telling?
Yep, so far so good.
Yes.
Okay. At any point of time you feel I'm going quite slow or I'm going very fast, do let me know, because as I told you, my only intention is to give you the value which you should get. Okay. So with this, let's proceed further towards the next topic. And the next topic which comes up over here is sorting of the columns. Sorting means arranging in an ascending or a descending manner. So let's see over here. We are talking about sorting of the columns. So let me go to the data source, and you can see over here, see the sequence of the column: row ID, order date, ship mode. Now, why it has been arranged in this particular sequence? Why row ID is appearing before order ID? Because in our data source also, we have the same order: row ID, order date, ship date. Row ID, order date, ship date. It is following the same sequence. Okay. So it is following the same sequence over here. But if I wanted to get it, and remember, whatever we are doing over here, it will have no impact on your visual, because here we are just bothered about looking at the data. So I can click on the settings button and you will see ascending or descending. I will say ascending. So it has been alphabetically arranged in an ascending manner. You can click on this drop down, you can say descending, and it will be arranged in a descending manner. Okay. And if you will click on this setting, you will get two more options over here, which is ascending and descending per table basis. Per table. Ascending or descending per table. Okay. So this is
So one doubt.
Yep.
What does per table mean exactly?
That's what I was telling about. As of now, you can see I have only one table, that is orders, on which we are working. Here we are referring to this sheet as a table. Okay. We have only one table. Further in the module, you will see that we will be dealing with the multiple tables. So when we deal with the multiples table over here, we will be having the fields from the different, from multiple tables. And at that point of time, if you will do ascending or descending, the data will be jumbled up. You may have one column from one table and the second column from another table. At that point of time, if you want to arrange an ascending or descending on a per table basis, then you can do it. So it will take one table, arrange for that particular table, then take the second table and arrange the column of that particular table in ascending or descending manner as specified. Clear?
Yes,
Sir,
yes.
can you explain again?
What?
What is exactly meant by per table?
Per table means, as of now, how many tables can you see in this?
Just one of orders.
One of orders, absolutely correct. But when you will have, there further we will see there will be multiple tables. We will have more tables, more than one. Okay. So at that point of time, if I will do ascending or descending, if I arrange the data in ascending and descending, the columns from the two tables will be jumbled. Can you see the name of the table is appearing over here on that?
Right.
This orders. So you might have one from the one table and the second column from another table. So I am saying, by saying per table, I mean take one table, arrange it in an ascending or descending order, then take second table by table. Ascending or descending by table. Is it clear now?
Yeah. So you mean to say that on the left side we have like order, people, and returns sheet. So in one sheet we can have multiple tables, and those also will be shown here. Okay.
We will reach to that level when we will be dealing with multiple tables, so it will be very clear at that point of time.
Okay.
And I can remind me, I can give you an example of this over there as well.
Sure.
So that was about the sorting of the columns. Now, sorting of the columns. Then now talking about the sorting of the data or the rows. Now let me go to the sheet one. As of now, whatever sorting you will be doing over here, it will have no impact on your visual. Now let's talk about the sorting of this visual. So if you will notice over here, just name of the sales is over here, and along with, can you see this is small icon appearing over here? Can you notice the small icon?
Yes.
This is known as quick sort. It is a quick sort button. 1, 2, 3. Right? Not sorted, ascending, descending. Ascending, descending, not sorted. Right? So you just keep on clicking on this and it will be sorted. So this is known as quick sort. Remember, in Tableau, there will be multiple ways to do the same task. So that one is quick sort. Number 2, this is the toolbar sort, ascending, descending. Toolbar sort. This is known as toolbar sort on the top in the toolbar. Then we have sorting by pill, where you can go to this subcategory, click on this drop down, and you will see there is an option called sort. You will click on this sort, and you can see data source order in a ascending or a descending manner. So it will be arranged in a data source order, or you can take it alphabetically and you can arrange it in a ascending or a descending manner. Or you can take it on the basis of the field, sum of sales in ascending or a descending manner. Okay. Or manually also you can arrange it. You want to take the storage, or let's take the copiers over here, and I want to take it at the top. So you can see the copiers is appearing at number 1. And you also have over here as nested, but it will not have much of an impact. It will be work in a simple manner because we have only one field over here. Okay. So that is sorting over here. Then we have another is sorting by marks card. So let me say sorting by marks card. So let me do one thing. Let me remove this category. It will be easier for you to understand. And I will put the profit into the color. I will put profit into the color. Let me click on the profit and I will sort this data. Now look at this visual and tell me, what do you think? Is your visual sorted? Yes or no?
It is sorted color wise, but not numerically.
Very good. It is sorted on the basis of the color, and color is indicating the profit. Darkest to the lightest. Right? So it has been sorted on the basis of the marks card. So this is the marks card. I have put in the profit into the marks card and then sorted on that basis. You can put anything. Let's take quantity into the size. Let me click on quantity and I will click on the sort. You can say thickest to the thinnest. So the maximum quantity sold is of binders and the minimum quantity sold is of copier. Clear? So that is known as sorting by marks card. Right? So these are the different ways of sorting I told you. Number way, one is the sorting of the columns. Second, if we talk about the visual, I have shown you 4 ways. Number 1, quick sort. Number 1, here it is. Number 1, quick sort. Number 2, toolbar sort. Number 3, sorting by pill. And number 4, sorting by marks card. Okay. The next topic which comes up over here is creating hierarchies. Now let us see what is a hierarchy. Hierarchy gives you a drill through facility. So let me go to a new sheet, and supposedly I displayed the regional sales. I displayed the regional sales. Then I feel like I wanted to further bifurcate it on the basis of segment. So I have put in the segment over here and I'm getting the region and the segment wise bifurcation of the sales. Then I feel that I also wanted to further bifurcate it on the basis of the category. So I have put in the category also over here. So region-wise, segment-wise, category-wise sales is being displayed over here. And I felt like also getting it bifurcated on the basis of subcategory. I have put in the subcategory also over here. And this is my presentation mode. So I have bifurcated the sales on the basis of region, segment, category, and subcategory. But when I presented this data, I got a requirement that this should not be bifurcated on the basis of subcategory. So what I have to do, I have to go back to the design mode, and I can remove the subcategory from here. I can throw it out. Let me go back to the presentation mode. Now I'm getting regional, segment, and category wise sales. Now I feel like that category is not required. So again, I will go to the design mode, remove the category. Now I am displaying the regional and the segment wise sales. Now I felt like that the segment is also not required. So I can throw out the segment from here as well. And I'm getting a regional sales. When I displayed this, I felt like no, segment was required. So again, I have to go to the design mode and add the segment over here. So by this, what I'm trying to highlight that whenever the requirement has changed, you have to redesign your visual. Okay, but let us see how hierarchy can help us over here. So how to create a hierarchy? We can select all the fields which we want to be the part of the hierarchy, like category. I can use control click to select the multiple fields, region, segment, and subcategory. So I have selected the 4 categories over here. You can click on this drop down arrow of any of the selected field. Click on the drop down arrow. Sorry. Click on the drop down arrow and you will see hierarchy option over here, and under which you will be getting an option called create hierarchy. You can give it a name over here. Let me say PD and say okay. So you will see that the hierarchy has been created. This is the icon for the hierarchy. You can see category, region, segment, and subcategory. I want the region to be at the top. Then I want the segment, and then the category and the subcategory. So I can just move it, and here it goes. Now I will take PD over here. Look carefully what I will be getting. I have taken PD, but I am getting region over here. And also notice that within the pill, you are getting a plus icon over here. Can you notice this small plus icon? This is an expand button. It's an expand button. You click on this, you will get the segment. You click on this, you will get the category. You will click on this, you will get the subcategory. You want to come back to the region. You click on this, you are back in region. Let us show this. Okay, now here it is, region. Let me, on the real time, on the presentation mode, you can see a plus icon. I'm getting the segment. I'm getting the category. I'm getting the subcategory. I want to go back to segment. I want to move further to category. This is how simply it can be done. Right? Can you see the benefit of creating a hierarchy over here? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Right. So this is how we created a hierarchy. At any point of time you wanted to remove the hierarchy, you can simply right click on the hierarchy and say remove hierarchy. So the hierarchy will be removed, but it will have no impact on your visuals, on your fields. The fields will remain as it is. Okay, let me remove the region from here. And this was one way of creating the hierarchy. Let me tell you the simplest way of creating the hierarchy. You can take any field, drag and drop it onto the another field. Take one and drop it onto the another and see what happens as soon as you release your mouse. I am getting a create hierarchy box. Let me say PD and press enter. Hierarchy has been created. I want to add category to this. I can click on this drop down arrow. I can go to the hierarchy. add to hierarchy PD. So you can see it has been added into PD. I can also use the drag and drop. I can drop it over here and it has been the part. So the hierarchy has been created, PD, and here it goes. Clear? Am I clear with this?
Yes.
One question. So in this visualization, we don't have sales bill in either columns or rows, but we have it in marks. So how is it still showing the numbers? Does it not need to be in the column or any of the shells?
Absolutely correct. It need not to be in the column or the rows. Once we talk about creating different type of visual, we can see what will be the impact of putting the multiple things into the various places. As of now, I am not focusing on the visuals. See, Tableau is all about creating different type of visuals, but my focus is not on the creating the visuals. As of now, I'm just getting you introduced to the various concepts which we have in Tableau. Once we talk about the different type of visuals, we will be covering all these. Where to keep which thing and what impact will be there. Okay. As of now, we are proceeding on with the default part only. I'm not doing anything. Tableau is doing it on by default. I'm just double clicking it. Correct?
Okay.
Okay. So this. Okay. And I wanted to remove, right click, remove hierarchy. Hierarchy remove. Now let us take one more example over here. I would like to take the sales on the basis of order date. Now I have taken the order date, but if you will notice what has been taken, year. I have taken order date, but automatically it is appearing as year. Okay. And you can notice there is a plus icon over here. You click on the plus icon, you got the quarter. Click on the plus icon, you got the month over here. Okay. But if you will notice over here that you are not getting the visual in a, these visuals you can say are getting displayed in a broken format. Don't you think so?
Yes.
Details of 2014 quarters, detail of 15 quarters, 16 quarter and 17. So they are displaying in a separate plot area. And if I will go to the month again, you can see a broken visual. So I don't want this broken visual. I want the visual to be in one flow. So for which I will just click on this drop down arrow and you will say year, quarter, month. Once again, you will say year, quarter, month. Now I can select the year from over here from the bottom one. Initially it is top one. I'm taking it from the lower one and now see year, quarter, month. Now I am getting it in a flow. So this type of visual which is displayed in a flow is known as continuous visual, and the one which was being displayed in a broken format like this is known as a discrete. So the broken is known as discrete and the one which is in a flow is known as continuous chart. Okay. And another important point to be noted that we have not created this hierarchy. It has been created by default. So in Tableau, date data types has the default hierarchy. Auto hierarchy, you can call it. Date data types has auto hierarchy in Tableau. Clear? Right. So this was the auto hierarchy. And I told you about the discrete as well as the continuous graph. The next topic which is coming up over here is grouping. Now let's see what is grouping. So I will take another visual over here. Let me take the sales on the basis of region. Let me make it as a horizontal bar. Let's make it as an entire view. And if you want, I can also display the labels. Now, supposingly, I want to display this combined sales of central and south. I have used control click to select the two. Right? Now, when you control click the two, you are getting a pop-up box over here. You are getting a pop-up box over here and you will see you will see a group icon over here. Just click on this group icon and you will see the sales for the central and south has been combined. Okay. Let me, and also notice you are getting a new field in the list with the name region group, and just look at the icon. This is a group icon, you are getting it over here. Let me remove this group and I will delete this field as well. Once again, I will take the region, and once again, I want to display the combined sales for central and south. So I can go to the toolbar and click on the group icon, and it has been grouped together. Same impact, another same thing, but in a different manner. Region group, region group. Let me remove the group. Let me delete it over here. This time, I would like to take the subcategory. Let's take the subcategory. And let's also sort it. So I have given you two ways of creating the group. One is this from the pop-up, right? And one is from here. You can also right click over here and say group. Now, another way is grouping through the data pane. This is known as the data pane. So grouping using the data pane. So we can go to the subcategory, click on this drop down. You will see there is an option called create and the group. Now let us say I wanted to create a group of a stationery related products like label, paper, control click, label, paper, and envelopes. And I will say group. You can name this group as stationery. Say apply and okay. So the group has been created, but it has no impact on the visual. So you can put the subcategory group over here and remove the subcategory. And now you can see, now you will not be able to see the paper, label, and envelopes because it has been a part of the stationery group. Now let us see, I wanted to add the art and fastener to the stationery group. So I can click on this drop down arrow and I can say edit group. Let me go to the stationery and I will say arts over here. And I wanted to add fasteners. So here is the fasteners. I can right click over here, add to stationery group. Okay, it has also been added. Notice art and fasteners. I will say apply and you can see it has been moved and it has been a part of the stationery group. Okay, so this is known as a group. I can write it over here. Am I clear with this grouping part?
Yes.
Okay. Then let's proceed. Grouping through data pane we have done. Now, the next thing which comes up over here is auto-generated fields. Now, what are the auto-generated fields? Let us have a look. Order ID, customer ID. Let me put it over here. Order ID, postal code, product name, region, segment, etc. All these fields. Then you can say discount, profit, quantity, sales. From where we are getting these fields? Can anybody tell me? Where are these fields coming from? Please tell. Hello.
The original data source.
Yes, they are coming from the data source. In this example, from Excel. Now, in the data source, do we have any field with the name measure name? Or do we have a field with the name latitude and longitude? Or do we have some field like count or the measure values? Do we have these fields in the data source? Yes or no?
No.
No, we don't. So how are these coming? So these are the auto-generated fields. These are the auto-generated fields. So whenever you will be working in Tableau, you will be getting 5 auto-generated fields, which are measure name, measure value, count, measure name, measure value, count, and longitude and latitude. Now let us see what does this fields display. Count. Count will give you the total number of records in your data source. So here it is. You can display the label. So you can see 9,994. That is the total number of records in the data source. Okay. So that is the count. Measure names. Can you name the measures in this data source? Can you quickly name few measures? Give me the name of the measures.
Discount, profit, quantity, sales.
Discount, profit, quantity, sales, and count is also a measure. Although it is auto-generated, but it is a measure. Correct? So when we talk about measure name, it will give you the list of all the measures. So you are getting the list of all the measures over here. You can say count of records, that is 9,994. The total discount offered is 1561. Total sales then is 2297201, and so on. So it is giving you the sum of all the measures individually. Clear? And then we have measure values. Measure values will also give you the same thing, but only in the graphical format. It will give you it in a graphical format. Same thing was displayed by measure names, but it was in a tabular format. Measure values will give the same thing, but in a graphical. Okay. Then we have longitude and latitude. In Tableau, we are able to generate the maps because of this longitude and latitude values. Right? So we will see to it when we will be creating maps. Okay. Now we know about the auto-generated field. What is the benefit? How can we utilize? What is the use for us? So let's take one scenario. I want to display the sales on the basis of order date. Let's make it as an entire view. I am displaying the sales on the basis of order date. I also wanted to display the profit as well as the discount. So I'm displaying three things over here in one visual. But if you will notice, doesn't it look like that all the three has been plotted in a separate plot area? This is the area for sales, this is the area for profit, and this is the area for discount. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
But I don't want this thing. I want that all the three should be in the same plot area. Something like this. Sorry, something like this I want. That all the three should be plotted in a same plot area. For which, what can I do? I can click on the drop-down arrow of any of these, and you will see there is an option called dual axis. I went to the profit. I saw an option called dual axis. Dual axis means secondary axis. I can have one more axis over here in the chart. I can go to the discount and I will be seeing an option called dual axis. Okay, here also I am getting a dual axis option. So anything I want, we can put it on the dual axis. So let's say for an example, profit, I can put it on the dual axis. And now you can see that the sales and the profit has been displayed in a same plot area, where sales displayed in the orange line has been plotted against this axis, and profit displayed in a blue color has been plotted against this axis. Okay. And also notice the change in the shape of the pill. The sales and the profit, the shape has been changed, which indicates that these two has been plotted under using a dual axis. Now, let us also try to put the discount into the dual axis. So I will click on this drop down arrow and you will see the dual axis option is not available. Why? Because dual means two. We can have only two values into the same plot area by using dual axis. I cannot put the third one. Now here we have a limitation. Now how to overcome this limitation? So this limitation can be overcome using the auto-generated fields, measure names. So what I will do, I will take the measure values over here. Instead of taking the sales, profit, discount individually, I have taken the measure values. Let's make it as an entire view. I want to display it on the basis of order date. I will take the measure name from here and put it into the colors. And if I want, I can take the measure names and put it into the label as well. Here it goes. I don't want the count and I don't want the quantity. And here it goes. Sales, discount, profit has been plotted in the same plot area using the same axis. Correct? Clear? Hello, is it clear? Or do you want me to repeat this part?
Can you repeat, please?
Surely. Let's do it once again. So I wanted to display the discount, profit, and sales in the same plot area. Initially, I have taken that at separately, sales, profit, and discount. But now, instead of taking sales, profit, discount individually, I will take the measure values. I want to display the measure values on the basis of order date. I will make it as an entire view. From the column, I will take the measure name and put it onto the colors. And I can also take the measure name and put it into the labels. This is what we are getting. Let me remove the count, and let me remove the quantity from here. And you can see sales, profit, and discount has been plotted in the same plot. Clear?
Yes.
Right. So this is how we can utilize the auto-generated fields. The next thing which comes up over here is discrete versus continuous. Discrete means, what do you mean by discrete?
Broken.
Discrete means broken and continuous means in a flow. Now, let us try to distinguish between the two. Now, first difference is discrete is highlighted in blue and continuous is highlighted in green. Now, let's take an example. Now, if you remember a few minutes back, I told you, see, these are the dimensions which has been highlighted in blue, and these are the measures which has been highlighted in green. Right? I told you that thing, but that was not correct. I was lying to you. Just to highlight that difference between dimension and measure, I was just lying to you. It is not at all a criteria that the dimension should be in blue and the measure should be in green. It is nothing related to the dimension and measure. And to show you, let me take the sales on the basis of order date. And I'm getting the year-wise sales over here. Now, order date being the dimension is appearing in blue. So I can click on this drop-down arrow. And if you will take the year from the bottom one, you can see it is appearing in a green color. Now it is continuous. So it has nothing related to dimension and measure. It is related to the discrete or continuous. Anything which is discrete will be appearing in blue, and anything which is continuous will be appearing in green. Clear?
Yes.
Next, discrete field gives separate color and continuous field give gradient colors. So let us take the sales on the basis of subcategory, and let me try to put a discrete field that is category into the color. And you can see that you are getting the separate colors over here. The furniture is blue, office supplies orange, and technology red. All the three are appearing in a separate colors, right? But if you take a continuous field, for an example, profit into the color, you will be getting the gradient color. Okay, you are getting the gradient colors over here, the shading. Gradient color means shading. So discrete field gives different color and continuous field give gradient color. Okay, you want to try any other field? Let's try to put the region into the color. So you can see a separate colors. Okay, next. Filtering on discrete gives exact value to filter, and filtering on continuous will give you the range to filter. Example. So let me put the region into the filter and see what happens. I am getting the exact value, central, south, east, west, whatever I want, I can keep, and whatever I don't want, I can remove. I am getting the exact values. However, let me put the profit into the color and profit into the filter and click on next. Now here you are getting a range. You are not getting the exact value. You are getting a range over here. Clear?
Yes.
You are getting a range to filter. Right. Let me clear it out. Next. Discrete field in maps gives color dot and continuous field in map give gradient colors. Example, let me take a map over here. I will simply double click on the state and let me put the region into the color and see what happens. I'm getting the colored dots over here. Colored bubbles are being displayed over here. Each color representing a separate region like east, south, central, and west. If I put a continuous, this is a discrete field. If I put a continuous field, for an example, sales into the color, I am getting a gradient color darker to the lighter, where darker color indicating a higher sales and a lighter color indicator lesser sales. So continuous field in map will give you a filled map or the gradient colors, and a discrete field will give you a color dots. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So this is the difference between continuous and discrete. A quick review: discrete blue, continuous green. Discrete separate colors, discrete field give separate color, continuous gradient color. Filtering on discrete exact value, filtering on continuous range. Discrete field in map colored dot, continuous field in map gradient colors. Okay, let's proceed further. And with this, you reach to your second assignment, which says display year-wise sales, discount, profit, and quantity using measure names, utilizing measure names. Displaying the sales using hierarchy for region, segment, category, and subcategory. Here you have to create a hierarchy. Create a horizontal bar chart to represent subcategory sales. All stationery related subcategory like paper, label, etc. should be grouped as stationery. Okay, so you have to create a group just like I have shown you. Represent subcategory wise profit in a graphical manner arranged in a descending order of profit. So this is an example of sorting. Can it be done? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. All right. So, okay. So this is a point where we can take pause for the day. And before I wind up the session for today, how was the overall session? Good, bad, or very bad?
It was good. Very interactive.
It was good. Yeah.
Are you getting what I'm trying to deliver over here?
Yes.
Yes.
So please, one thing I am trying to highlight again and again is being more interactive, asking more questions, right? Be more interactive, ask more questions, and be involved in the module. And the best part is enjoy the topic. And please do the assignments. If you really want to get a value out of it, I will love to have a look at your assignment. Right? It's a small batch. I can definitely give a quick look to the individual's assignment. You can, in the next session, you can share your screen. You can quickly show me your assignments so that I can share my feedback on that. Moreover, none of the assignments which you will do over here, 4 in this and 2 in this, I think all these 6 will not take more than 10 to 15 minutes to do it. And I'm saying 10 to 15 minutes because you will be doing it for the first time. Else it will not take more than 5 minutes to do all these 6 questions.